My name is Brian Bloom. I'm the president of Priority Moving, Inc. We're an agent for Wheaton Van Lines, and we've been in business for 8 years. Risk management was extremely important from the very beginning. My background includes working for a risk management workers' comp consulting company, and the rest of the risk management reductions that we've attained over the years were learned while the company was running. For moving companies, there are 4 major categories of risk. There's workers' comp, cargo, fleet, and general liability. Workers' compensation is a huge worry for moving companies. It's extremely expensive. We don't have the kinds of risks that a roofer might, but people can be hurt because they're moving heavy pieces of furniture and they're moving their body and twisting it all day, every day. So what you do to reduce that risk is you need to train first of all, you need to hire the right people that can handle that kind of stress to their body. Then it's training in proper techniques, equipment that people wear, and having them understand the right way to do things, and then following up and making sure they do them right. Fleet safety in the moving industry is a huge risk and a huge issue, and one we take very serious because our movers are driving trucks, and trucks can do a very large amount of damage, not just to our truck, but to other vehicles and people. So fleet safety is something that, once again, we spend an inordinate amount of time in making sure we hire people who have a very clean record, but then on top of that becomes the training and more training and one-on-one training, testing, how we do things and rules that can't be broken and ways that they need to drive. And then it also includes technology. We have a satellite tracking system that alerts us when a truck is speeding, so we have the ability to see where the trucks are and have some kind of management control over that. For moving companies, general liability is going to include things like if we are moving you and we do damage to a hardwood floor, if the truck damages the driveway. So general liability is another risk that we need to control. And once again, that includes having the movers understand where those risks are, and then using different techniques, which sometimes includes aids like rug runners, special things on people's carpets, masonite, so that while we're inside someone's home, we're reducing the risk that we're going to do any property damage to their home. Cargo risk it can be a very big risk, and what cargo risk covers is actually the household goods that we're moving. So if there's loss or damage to anything that we move, that's going to be covered under the cargo policy. So obviously the better we are at protecting the cargo when we move it, the less chance we have in damaging it or having a cargo claim. So once again, it relates to 3 things. One is training the mover so that they understand how to properly care for the cargo, and 2, having the right equipment and the right procedures to move them properly, and then of course on top of that, the training. The training is an intensive one-day process regardless of how much experience you have, because you need to learn to do it what we call the priority moving way, which involves a lot of risk control. So there's DVDs that people will watch, there's actual testing, there's one-on-one training, there's actual physical training where they're moving things here in a controlled environment, there's on-the-job training, and then there's also one-on-one fleet training in the truck, and visual aids and things like that add to that. I believe that when moving companies are looking for an insurance carrier and a broker, they're looking for 2 things. One is experience in the industry. They're looking for someone who understands the risks and how to help them reduce the risks. And the second thing is, when you do have a claim, that you want to have an actual insurance company that understands how to manage that claim and work with you on that claim to reduce whatever the ultimate costs are for that claim. The most important thing that risk management brings to operating a successful moving company is the realization of the actual importance of the training, the teamwork, the adherence to the standards that we set, and then lastly, the metrics that we can put in place to measure if those are working and to reward those that are helping us to keep our risk profile low and cut those that are not doing that.